I just want to start off by saying this is one of the coolest cover arts that I have seen in a very long time. I'm a sucker for Easter eggs, and this is just Easter eggs galore all over this cover art. There's tons of information to unpack, and I'm here for it. As you guys know, Eminem announced Curtain Call 2, which will be a greatest hits album. The original Curtain Call was everything up until Encore, and we can safely assume that this will be everything after Encore, and I will talk a little bit more about that and why that is pretty much confirmed. And if you watched my reaction to From the D to the LBC, you saw that I caught that he was announcing this Curtain Call 2 album in the pinball machine, and there's a lot here. So stick around and see absolutely everything that I have found on this cover art that maybe you didn't know existed. Now, before I do that, this video will get copyrighted because I'm using copyrighted images. I know it's crazy, but that literally happens to me now. So I have accepted a sponsor for this video, and I'm gonna wrap it for you right now. Are you looking for a sound that will wow everybody that's around you, but you don't wanna have to pay a ton? Well, let me tell you right now, you don't need to look around to the sound. It's a Soundcore Motion Boom Plus. It's designed for outdoor activation. In the hot tub here, it's causing waves, but it's massive bass and it's waterproof, so if you drop it in, it'll all be okay. It's a big upgrade from the first iteration. Added tweeters make the sound amazing. Strap it on for some hands-free play in a 20-hour runtime. That's outrageous. Play this at every bonfire, 4th of July, or where you desire. And I know liar, the Soundcore Motion Boom Plus is to be admired, so try it. Yo, a shout out to Soundcore for sponsoring this video with the Motion Boom Plus. This thing is a freaking workhorse. This is an absolute step up from the original Motion Boom. It's powered by dual woofers, tweeters, and a passive radiator, so it effortlessly reproduces dynamic, crystal clear sounds for you guys. And the bass on this thing is gnarly. Actually, I'm gonna show you real quick. Look at this! Not to mention, it has 20 hours of runtime on one single charge. It's waterproof completely. It is absolutely perfect for outdoors. Has a huge 80-watt stereo sound that is super clean, especially at loud volumes. It also has an aux in port, so if you don't want to use Bluetooth, you can just plug it straight in. And it also has a Power IQ charging bank, so if your phone's about to die, you can plug it into this and it acts as a charger and charges your phone while your phone is playing music to this. It's crazy. Just go download to the description, click my link, and after this video is done, I'm going outside to my pool and I'm blaring this bad boy while I'm in the pool, because it's waterproof and I can do that. All right, so staying at an overall view of this album cover, the Curtain Call 2 logo, as well as the stars, the stripes, this little lion up here in the top right corner, this little spade up here in the top left corner, this Jason mask with the horns, all of this was teased in From the D to the LBC music video. I still don't exactly know what this lion and this spade is. I've seen these logos so many times in my life, but I just cannot remember what they are called, and I've Googled for half an hour trying to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out. So if you know what that is, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that I couldn't make a connection to in this entire video. Staying on the overview, you can see that all of the action is taking place within some draped curtains. You can see the tassels at the bottom of the curtains in the bottom left as well as the bottom right, and if you just look a little closer, you can see the wrinkles in the curtains and how it splits open for everything, and it coincidentally looks like a vagina, so that's awesome. Moving up to the top left specifically, you can see this little Jason mask with the horns. This specific iteration of the Jason mask was in the From the D to the LBC music video, but we've seen this several times, including the cover arts for Music to Be Murdered By and Music to Be Murdered By Side B. And then you got the shady signature right here. Obviously this is his alter ego, but we have seen this numerous times as well. So based off of this information, we can pretty much safely assume that From the D to the LBC will be on this greatest hits album, even though I don't necessarily think it would be considered one of his greatest hits in recent years. Now take a look at these capsules. We're going to specifically focus on capsule number 1 right here. It is highlighted, meaning that this is technically the highest score. All the other ones are not highlighted, but inside of this one you can see the emergency symbol, which is from Recovery, and then the pill capsule also represents Relapse because Eminem's face is a mosaic of pill capsules. So with that, you can safely assume that there will be songs from Recovery and Relapse on this album as well. More about the pill capsules later. Moving on down, you can see the jet from the Kamikaze cover art, which again means that there will be songs from Kamikaze on here, which I am excited about. That was one of my more favorite projects that he's had in recent memory. Sliding on down a little bit more, we can see an obvious iteration from Music to Be Murdered By. He's in a little grave right here. He's got cemetery headstones behind him. He's in his get up from the cover art. So again, we have another album confirmed to be on this greatest hits. And if you look carefully at the division of these little sections, this is a stem from a rose. You can see the thorns from the stem and they all lead to a rosebud, and this is a call to the original Curtain Call. Over in this little area right here, we have this highlighted 1 to 4 can play, with the 1 being the only one that's highlighted and the 2, 3, 4 are grayed out, meaning that there there is only one person playing the game right now. There's a lot of different ways you can view this. I personally view this as Eminem just doing a lot of solo stuff. You know, there might be like 3 features on this greatest hits album, but I know he's done a lot of features in recent memory that are some of his better songs, so I feel like there will be more than just 3 features on this. But the basic surface level is that Eminem is doing this by himself and that he's the one playing this game. Skipping past this capsule that I'll talk about later, we have this small little game over sign right here. Now this works in accordance with a lot of other things on this cover art, because we have this game over right here, we also have this ball and play right here, and then we have the high score to date up here as well. But if you notice, this game over is grayed out, but the ball in play is highlighted as well as the high score to date is highlighted. This essentially just means that Eminem is definitely still feeling like he's rapping in his prime. He's at his high score to date. He's rapping better than he ever has, but he's essentially saying that he's not done. He's still going. The ball is in his court. The ball is still in play. The game is not over. Now this, it could also be another little niche thing. A lot of people have been really wanting a Game diss track. Now if you've missed this news, the rapper The Game has been widely discrediting Eminem in recent interviews for an album promotion.
And I used to think Eminem was better than me.
So what you saying right now?
He's not. Challenge. Hey, challenge it.
Game, you don't want to go versus against Eminem?
Yes, I do. What do you mean? Yeah, I do. The fuck you mean?
There has been rumored to be one brand new song on this album. I personally think it might be Fact 2, just because, but it also could be a diss track called Game Over, which I think would be pretty much legendary. But essentially those are what those 3 things mean in accordance to each other. Staying at the bottom side right here, you can see the classic Jason mask peeking through this smaller curtain right here, which is backstage, and then we also have this bloody chainsaw, which is backstage. I personally think this is from the Shady 15 collaboration album. There was a lot of really cool songs on that, so I think maybe one of the songs from that album will also be thrown onto this greatest hits album. But the hockey mask has been widely associated with Eminem for quite some time. In fact, the very first time it was brought out was at a show. So this could reference the very first time the mask was brought out, being that it is peeking through some curtains on a stage, which means that all of this backstage curtain area could be the original curtain call, and he's giving a nice nod with the original Jason mask and the chainsaw. Staying alongside this bottom right here, we have the skyline of this city. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is the skyline of Detroit, but this is the back cover of the Recovery album, so it's another confirmation that there will be songs from Recovery on here. Also, you can see the skyline is red, white, and blue. This to me is a nice little reference to Revival, saying that we might actually get a Revival song on this album because of the American flag front cover. Staying down to the bottom right, we have the Marshall Mathers LP2 album cover. Again, another album is confirmed to be existing on this greatest hits album. Moving up to this middle area right here, there's a couple different things. This ghost right here is actually on the CD cover art for Bad Meets Evil Hell, the sequel. Now looking at this little score segment right here in the middle, we have this credit with a 6 above it, and if you look closely at the credit, there is the little RX prescription symbol, and that is from the cover of Relapse. And then the credit being 6 could be 2 different things. Relapse was Eminem's 6th studio album, which is probably what this means, but this could be in reference to the number of solo albums that make up this greatest hits album. Relapse, Recovery, Revival, Kamikaze, Music to Be Murdered By, and Marshall Mathers LP2 are all the solo albums that are referenced on this cover art. And then the 2 collaborative albums, Bad Meets Evil and Shady 15, are also referenced, so that might be a little bit more of a stretch. But Relapse is Eminem's 6th album, and that really ties these 2 together, which is why I'm leaning towards that a little bit more. The number 70 right here is a little bit harder for me to justify. I personally think this might be the runtime of the album. The original curtain call was 77 minutes and 50 seconds, so it is believable that this album would be around 70 minutes long. I've gone through a lot of theories in my head about this 70. Eminem has said that he'll be rapping until he's 70 before. Eminem was born in 72. But, you know, are the 70s like a good memory of his life? None of those really made as much sense to me as the 70-minute runtime. Circling back right here, we have these stars and stripes representing an American flag. I know I said earlier this is from the D to the LBC music video, but I also think this could be another reference to the Revival cover art of the American flag. Again, showing that there will be songs from Revival on this. You got the classic man peeing up here at the very top, and this was actually in the Marshall Mathers LP2 CD booklet if you bought the hard copies. Again, again, just confirming more Marshall Mathers LP2 songs. Now moving directly into the center, we have the classic Eminem devil horns pose. This is actually the original picture where Eminem's hair was blonde, but it's been updated to reflect his current look of the darker hair with the beard. But if you look at this original picture, it's the same hoodie, it's the exact same watch with the Eminem logo on it, the horns are in the same spot, it's literally the same picture, just updated. And last but not least, the one that everybody has been talking about on Twitter, if you flip it upside down, you'll feel like you're in middle school on a calculator again, with boobs, he's ill, hellish, and asshole. But that's everything that I found, all the Easter eggs, hidden meanings, everything on this cover art in reference to Curtain Call 2. Let me know if you guys found some stuff that maybe I missed over. I did a lot of reviewing on this. I sat on this overnight trying to make sure I got everything. And most importantly, what songs are you excited to see on Curtain Call 2? I really think this is going to be a good move for Eminem to remind people of how many dope songs that he has put out in the last few years. I feel like people have forgotten. So I'm definitely excited for this. I hope there's more than just one new song, but even if there's one new song, that's dope. But that's the end of this video, guys. And until next time, it has been your boy Crypt. I am dropping a brand new song myself on Friday. If you guys want to pre-save that, that would be dope. I'm filming the music video for it right now. I'm actually going to be wearing this shirt in the music video. It's a scary one. It's awesome, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, that's it. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, please. That'd be dope. Deuces.